everybody, welcome back to Novel Idea. My name is Dia, and this little bug is Poppy. And I just have the second half of my wrap-ups to go over for the books that I finished this past week. So here we are, part 2. I am just gonna get into it and let you know the 5 books I finished this week and what I am currently reading and what maybe is coming up next. I don't know if I will get to that part or not. We'll see. So without further ado, let's jump in. We're not playing ball right now. The sunshine keeps popping in and out of the clouds today, so I'm sorry if the light is changing often. The first book that I finished this past week was My Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. This was a reread for me, but I hadn't read it in a few years, and I think the first time I read it was around maybe 2008. It came up in, I think it was Gloria Z. Thompson that had it in one of her videos recently, and I thought, I need to reread that. It's a book on grief in a way, but what I really love about it is just how she talks about what she is going through and lets you know that grief is not something that everybody experiences the same way, that there's often sides of things that aren't spoken about, and she doesn't know why. I don't know why they're not spoken about either, but it was just a very raw, she was writing it in the midst of what she was going through. So it's very raw, very real, and it's just beautiful. And so I enjoyed, as much as you can enjoy a book about grief, I enjoyed going through this book again. And it was a really good reminder. It is something that you need to experience in your own way, and you need to be okay with that. And it was just really lovely to be reminded of that. So Joan Didion's My Year of Magical Thinking, and I don't want to say too much more about it because I think that part of the beauty of the book is going into it not really knowing what to expect. Okay, so the next book that I finished was The Winter King, and this is by Bernard Cornwell. It is a telling, it's supposed to be actually one of the most honest tellings of the Arthurian legend. And I have to say that I deeply appreciate how Bernard Cornwell brings this time on Earth alive. I greatly appreciate his character work that he does with these people. He lets people be imperfect and lets people be just real instead of legendary. And I just really loved it for those reasons. However, it was a little too raw and a little too gritty for me. I've been running into this quite a bit with the books that I've been reading. I don't know that I needed quite the descriptors that he used throughout the book what they were having to walk through or go through, or the descriptions of disembowelment and just different things like that. You know it's happening. I just don't think I needed quite the heavy handed descriptions. I will say that it was true and real to the time period. So I'm sorry if you guys are hearing all that background noise. It seems like my neighbors and things are raising and lowering their garage doors quite a lot today. Anyway, I still really enjoyed it. I am tempted to go on in the series because there's 2 more books in the trilogy, and I would like to go on in it in a way, but I also don't want to get in a reading slump because I'm reading all these books with these terrible descriptors and just completely grossing me out. I really do think this is a very good telling of Arthur. Okay, the next one that I finished up was the final book in the Dragonheart trilogy. It's called The Choice. This is by Nora Roberts, and it was my least favorite in the trilogy. I still liked it, but it just didn't capture me the way that it did in the first book or 2. And that kind of saddened me a little bit. I knew what was going to happen because we were told in the previous book, in a premonition kind of way, what our main character was going to go through. And it kind of is building up to this throughout the books. And so you kind of know what's going to happen. And it was wrapped up a little too neatly. It didn't feel very honest. I wish almost that it would have been the climax of the whole trilogy, that would have kind of happened at the beginning of this book, and that we would have kind of been able to see life that followed rather than having to see more of life building up to it. Oh, this happened. Okay, little afterthought here and done. So I still really enjoyed the series, but I just wish that it wouldn't have been such a saccharine kind of ending to the story. It felt a little too bubblegummy, I guess, to me. So, all right. The next one that I finished up was the second book in the Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians series. And this was Alcatraz versus the Scrivener's Bones. These are by Brandon Sanderson. They are a middle grade series, fun to be reading in those moments when I don't want to have to listen really closely to what's going on. It was a very adventurous, very high stakes kind of, it was high stakes in how things were happening. It was not high stakes in the fact that you weren't sure whether things were going to turn out okay or not, because it's a middle grade book. So it's very low stakes in that way. So it was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I will be moving on with that one. And then I also read Wundersmith by Jessica Townsend. This is the second book in the Trials of Morrigan Crowe, I think is the name of the series. The first one was Nevermore. This one's Wundersmith. And then I think that there's a third one, Hollowpox maybe, that is out. And I have really, really liked this series. There are some original things to it, but what I really love about it is the way that she just constantly overcomes mindsets about who she is and how she should be doing things. And her magic that she possesses in the book is very scary to most people out there, and even ones with magical powers. And so it's something that she's having to prove to everyone around her, that she is not the type of person that is going to use these powers for evil, that she is going to use them for good. And she has a set of just really good friends that rally around her. And so it's a beautiful series in that way, as well as just having these different things that she has to work through for herself, and that sometimes what we see on the outside is not what's on the inside. And it was just really good overall. Just a really good story. That is the total of what I read this past week. And so now, what am I in the middle of? I am still reading Plutarch's Lives, Volume 2. And I am, I don't know if it's halfway. 338 is what I am on, and there are 696 pages. So 330, almost, yeah, basically halfway. That's where I am. So about halfway through that, working my way through it slowly, not in a hurry, enjoying it. For Christmas, my daughter, who is just up here, got me this book, How to Be a Good Creature. This is by Cy Montgomery, and I had read this from the library and really wanted it. I don't think that she knew that I wanted it, but I really like it. And this is a memoir in 13 animals. So basically, she is taking the story of animals and using them as a way to show you parts of her life. And so I'm just really enjoying it again, and really thankful that I now own this sweet little book. And there are illustrations. I was gonna see if I could. I love this one. And then they're just sweet. Sweet, sweet illustrations. And the illustrations are by Rebecca Green. So I'm in the middle of that one. And then I also picked up another biography on Lucy Maud Montgomery. This one is called Looking for Anne, and it's by Irene Gammel. And it is how Lucy Maud Montgomery dreamed up a literary classic. And just after speaking with both of my girls while they were here over the holidays and things, I wanted to read more about Maud Montgomery herself. And so it was just one of the books that I found at a thrift store when I was there, but it looked like it would be possibly a really good one. And so I'm just really looking forward to getting further into it. So that's basically what I am in at the moment, those three. Am I listening to an audiobook? I am. I'm re-listening to The Name of the Wind right now. I really love both of Patrick Rothfuss's books and his short little novella that is set in the same world as the two novels. I have really enjoyed them in the past, and I wanted something to be that thing that I could listen to without having to really think about it and just know kind of the outcome of it, and just, yeah. And then I think up next, I am going to be reading another Lucy Maud book. This is Ella Montgomery by Jane Urquhart, and this is Extraordinary Canadians. Is that what it is? Yes, Extraordinary Canadians series from Penguin. And I, again, saw this at the same time I saw the other one and just wanted to pick it up. It is geared toward a younger audience, and I wanted to just see what the different biographers had to say about Ella Montgomery in these different ways, from these different angles. I don't think that, as I discussed with my daughter when we were having our little fireside chat, I don't think that history or people's lives can ever be told fully from one perspective. And so I just want different perspectives, basically, is what I want. And that's what I'm trying to do with these. Then for Christmas, she also got me Garden Maker. And I don't think she knew this was on my wish list either. But she knows that I love gardening. She knows I love stories about gardening. And this one is just beautiful. I don't know anything about this author, but it is full of just beautiful photography, and it talks about everything about gardens and flowers and just different stuff like that. These old roses are so pretty. So, which one is this? Does it say? It reminds me of Souvenir de la Montmartre. That's what that one reminds me of, but I can't find that there's an actual name to the rose. She didn't print them underneath, but anyway, they're just beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this one as well, and I will start that and the other Lucy Maud book after I am done with the ones that I'm in currently. It's been a quiet weekend. I had our grandson that does live here in town, our oldest grandson here in town, had him over for the morning. That was really fun. And I love having all of my grandkids with me, but when I get them one-on-one, it's really pretty special. So I got him this morning, and he and his grandpa went out to the park and played, and I got to make him hot cocoa when he came in, and we played. Got to hear him play some air guitar. He's really into playing air guitar. And then I started to pull down all the Christmas stuff, so the tree is about the only thing left. So Christmas is officially over at the Paul household. I'm gonna miss the tree in the mornings. I like turning it on and just having the glow. But let me know if you have read any of these books, and I would love to know what you're currently reading also. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video, everybody. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to. Bye.
Recording my hour. Okay, you can.